Hey guys, Ken here with North 40 Outfitters, lead archery tech at our West Great Falls location. And today we're going to go over a couple of the different broadheads we have to offer at North 40. So the two big differences between broadheads that we carry are expandable broadheads and fixed blade broadheads. And the names kind of summarize the main differences between the two. Fixed blades, the blades are always in the active position. They don't move. Expandable broadheads, the blades tuck back to a more sleek and aerodynamic design, so there's less wind drift created. And then when it impacts the target, a mechanism deploys that allows the blades to open up and gives you a much larger cutting diameter. Kind of going in the difference between the two types of expandables that we carry. There's a couple other deploying mechanisms, but the two that we carry, there's a collar system. So basically the tip of the arrow impacts, the blades deploy from the collar. There's a retention collar back here that once it hits the target, it's enough basically pressure to deploy the blades out of the collar and into the open position. And then with this guy, it has to penetrate a little bit further, but it uses a O-ring to retain the blades in flight. And then once it hits and the little arms here hit the target, it basically slices open the O-ring, deploys the blades. So the blades don't deploy right on impact like this one will, but you're still, both of them are pretty solid setups. As far as your fixed blades go, there's quite a few differences amongst fixed blades. So big differences are, you're gonna have options between a 2-blade broadhead, a 3-blade broadhead, and a 4-blade broadhead. And then amongst those differences, in the 2-blade world, you're going to have single bevel broadhead and a double bevel broadhead. So these here are a single bevel. So when you look at it, they're sharp on one side, but not on the other. So there's one edge that's not sharp, and the idea is that it kind of encourages the broadhead to continue to rotate. And it allows the tip to kind of act like a chisel point, and kind of snap bone when it impacts with bone. On this 3-blade, this is what's called a cut-on-contact style broadhead. So the blade runs from the very tip of the broadhead all the way to the back. So basically on lower poundage setups or setups that don't impact quite as hard, this is just going to give you more penetration. If you do impact bone, it may have slightly more chance of glancing, but overall, really popular broadheads amongst fixed blades. They work really well, and for people that don't have a lot of kinetic energy in their setup, this is a really good broadhead. It's going to give you more penetration. And then on this 4-blade, you can see this is a chisel point tip. So the idea is that it's going to break bone when it impacts. It's going to have less chance of deflecting off of bone. And then the blade angles are a little steeper and a little shorter. So it is going to require more force to push the broadhead through the target. If you have more questions about broadheads, or you'd like to pick our brains a little bit more, feel free to swing by your local North 40 Outfitters, or check us out online at north40.com.